Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mutant Agenda. My name is John. I am back. I plan on being back. So I know I haven't made content in a very long time, but thank you to the 101 of you who have been subscribed and patiently waiting for content. Speaking of content, I am on Instagram. If you go follow me at the Mutant Agenda. So a while back, February 8th, it looks like, I made this post where I posted this little, you know, document that I've been working on. This is all the X-Men omnibus that have been released so far. And that way you can kind of follow the reading order. Whoops. That way you can follow the reading order if you're trying to go, read the entire history of the X-Men. Since I've released this, there have been a few more omnibuses, whatever. There have been a few more omnibuses that have been released. And so I figured I would update this list, but not just update the list, make a video about it. So I thought that would be quite helpful. So I'm going to go through that today. Let's pull this up. All right, so here we go, the X-Men Omnibus reading order. Now this will get you from issues 1 to... Now it says 321 right here, but I think it gets you a little past that. Let me see. So this will get you up through Uncanny X-Men about 346. I know this says 380. But there's a gap here, so I'll point out when there's a gap and stuff. But this will definitely get you 1 through 321, no problem. Probably a little bit higher than that now that I've updated this. So as you can see, the first thing on the list is X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. This is the, I almost said Jim Lee, the Stanley and Jack Kirby stuff. This is where the series began in 1963. And this will get you from issues 1 to issue 31. I'm going to pull this up here on In Stock Trades. I am not sure this is in stock anymore, actually. So you might have to wait for a reprint or go to eBay. Let's go to cheap graphic novels. It is out of stock on here too. All right, the second volume is right here, X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. So this collects X-Men 32 through 36. It also has Avengers number 54, Kazar 2 and 3, Marvel Tales number 30, and material from Not Brand Ek 4 and 8. But again, if you are just trying to read the X-Men, this is the second volume. This will get the job done. So here's the comic cover that I have. This is the DM variant cover. And this one's out of stock. I'm not sure why they randomly have this cover in stock, but it is $100. Now, I put this Epic collection in here only because some of you care about what happened between the end of the 1963 X-Men run and Claremont's run. So there was a gap between X-Men being coming out with new issues. They did a lot of reprints during this time. But if you were interested in what the mutants were up to in that time, then you would pick up this Epic collection. These have not been collected in oversized hardcover or omnibus. But, this will just kind of... These are all random stories from other comics featuring the X-Men. So I figured I'd throw that Epic collection in there. Okay, so yeah, this is volume 4 of the Epic collection. It's called Always Darkest Before the Dawn. And this is the new printing that came out, I want to say, a couple years ago. But luckily, it's still in stock if you need it. Kind of important to read, you know, if you want to figure out why Beast is suddenly, furry. Beginning of Claremont's run, that's like peak X-Men for me. His run is insane. And that, in omnibus format, starts with this one right here. This is Uncanny X-Men Omnibus, Volume 1. This collects Uncanny X-Men number 94 through 131, Giant Size X-Men number 1, and Annual number 3. So why does it go from issues 66 to 94? What's up with that? Well, what's up with that is reprints. So from issue 67 to 93, they were just reprinting old issues from the 60s. So you're not missing anything. There's no gap here where they just haven't printed stuff. Now, I think this is probably a good time to point out that there was a series called Classic X-Men. Some of you might remember this, Classic X-Men. And these started coming out, I think, in the 80s. And these were reprinting Claremont's earlier stuff, you know, starting with issue 94 of Uncanny. But what Classic X-Men did was, in the back of the issues, they would have extra story. So I always throw this in. I didn't put it on the list, but I always tell people about it. If you want to get like just a little extra, if you want to get a little extra out of the X-Men, these backup stories are all collected in one volume. And, you know, it's not like the most profound stuff, but it's fun to read. I do not see Uncanny Volume 1 in stock on in-stock trades. I'm not seeing it here either. Here's Classic X-Men Omnibus. That's also out of stock. It hasn't been printed in a few years. All right. That takes us to Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2. Here's the Stuart Eminem cover. This is $74.99, and you can still pick it up on cheapgraphicnovels.com. It's actually still in stock on in-stock trades as well. All right, so what does Volume 2 collect? Well, it'll get you from issues 132 to 141 and annuals 4 and 5. And that's when the series actually goes from just X-Men to Uncanny X-Men. So then that will take you from 142 to 153. So essentially, it takes you from issues 132 to 153. It also has Avengers Annual number 10, Marvel Fanfare 1 through 4, Marvel Treasury Edition 26 and 27, Marvel Team Up 100, and Bizarre Adventures number 27, and then also Phoenix, The Untold Story. All right. The Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 3. I think this has been out of stock for a while, but we can double check. But real quick, this will take you from Uncanny X-Men 154 to 175. Also contains annuals 6 and 7. Marvel graphic novel number 5. The 4-issue Wolverine miniseries. So it's got that in it, which, you know, if you're also collecting the Wolverine Omnis, which we'll get into in a different video, there's some double dipping, but it's got Special Edition X-Men number 1, and then it's got the 4-issue Magic miniseries, which kind of explains how Ileana gets her magical sorceress powers from Limbo, from Belasco the Demon. Pretty cool story. Let's see if they've got this in stock. I am not seeing this one either. Let's try cheap graphic novels. Oh, volume 3. Hey, they got it in stock. It's not discounted, but you know, buying it for $125 is definitely probably going to be cheaper than what you could get it for on eBay, at least. So, and while I've got it pulled up, looks like volume 4 is also out of stock. All right, well, jumping into volume 4. This is volume 4, and it collects Uncanny X-Men 176 through 193, annual number 8, the 6-issue miniseries Kitty Pryde and Wolverine, the 2-issue miniseries X-Men and Alpha Flight, and material for Marvel Fanfare number 40. Now, here is something interesting that they've done. This was kind of controversial. They released this. This is Uncanny X-Men Volume 5. But they also released this. And this is what I have listed here, because I suggest getting this over Uncanny Volume 5. This is the prelude to the Mutant Massacre. This is a thick boy, but it does have a few extra things than what you would get with Volume 5. Mutant Massacre Prelude has Uncanny X-Men 194 to 209, annuals 9 and 10, New Mutant Special Edition number 1, New Mutants Annual number 2, Nightcrawler, the 4-issue miniseries, Longshot, the 6-issue miniseries, Avengers 263, if you know, you know, Fantastic Four 286, X Factor 1 through 8 and Annual 1, Iron Man Annual 8, Amazing Spider-Man 282, and material from Marvel Fanfare number 33A. Now, if you're looking at my list here, it's been pretty black and blue up until now. You might notice you're starting to see some more color. So I've color coded my list. Anything in blue is the main Uncanny X-Men series. Once Wolverine starts getting thrown in, I color-coded Wolverine's issues in brown. Then the New Mutants show up. They're in orange. And then X Factor debuts. And they're in this like sage green kind of color. So I did that to make it easier for people to kind of pick out, if you're looking at, if this were all black and white, all of this would start to run together. Your eyes would cross. So I tried to color coordinate everything to make this as easy to reference as possible. Now, the Nightcrawler miniseries, the Longshot miniseries, random issues of Avengers and Iron Man, I didn't bother color coordinating these because these are not the focus of this list. This is an X-Men reading order. The main thing is all of the mutant related titles are color coordinated. That's what this video is for. That's why I did it like this. So here is the prelude to the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. This normally retails for $150, but on in-stock trades it's $93. Actually, I think I'm going to stop after this one. So the last one on page 1 here is the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. This is one of my favorite storylines. A lot of good stuff in here. This will get you from Uncanny X-Men 210 to 219 and Annual 11, along with X Factor 9 through 17 and Annual number 2. New Mutants number 46, Thor 373 to 374, and 377 to 378, Power Pack 27, Daredevil 238. That's the issue that Daredevil fights Sabretooth. Not bad. Fantastic Four versus the X-Men miniseries 1 through 4. And X-Men versus Avengers miniseries 1 through 4. So, really good Omni. Hey, they've got a copy of Mutant Massacre Omnibus for $77.50. It normally retails for $125. So go to In Stock Trades. You can get the Mutant Massacre, but not bad at all. So I'm going to end this video here, and then I will be back. I just don't want this video to run too long because I don't want you guys to get too bored. But I will be back with a part 2. So don't forget, if you would just jump over to Instagram for me and look up the Mutant Agenda and follow me there. That's where I will be posting my updated list for you guys to steal. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to continue to make new content, and I will see you in part 2. Peace.